Good Tuesday to you all, and we're going to have another crack at this 11 round title Tuesday. We'll see how we get on. Throw your likes and subscribes this way. Hate winking, feels really weird. Won't do it again because it's going to get weirder, I'm sure, this one. But we'll keep the weirdness on the chessboard, maybe. So we're straight in with the first round, and here we are with Rapport's Stonewall Dutch. And I've had great success with this opening setup. In actual fact, I think this has scored better for me than even my classical Dutch. I've got a course on this on GingerGM.com, a free video on YouTube if you want to have a look at how to play it. And this is one of the better moves that White can try, because at least he puts pressure on d5. But the general idea, as I'm sure you know by now, push Harry up the board, take on g3, checkmate. But my opponent's played this quite clever, because if you go h5, he goes h4. So I want him to try and play this move first. So we might have to play it in a more solid fashion. So I might transpose to a kind of more normal Stonewall by castling kingside. I've moved my knight here so we can consolidate the centre. This is a kind of normal manoeuvre. But my opponent can now move his knight in. So we're probably not going to be getting this... Or should we just go for it and say sod it? I don't know. It's kind of tempting. What do we do with the crazy... H pawn. What? Okay. What about we go G5? Let's try this one. Let's have some fun. Let's try it slightly different. Because if I go G5, oh dear, that was just a bad move. Because for some reason I thought after takes, I could go here, but he could have done that, and he could have just won a pawn. I feel that would have been a bit worrying. So this is the problem of having the knight on this square. Okay, so I'm going to go g4, and he should really throw his knight in the middle, which he does. And now I think we're going to have to castle, because there's quite a lot of things opening up. And it's okay pushing pawns on the side of the board as long as the centre is closed, but it just feels he was opening up the position a little bit too much there. And I must admit, he's played this, apart from missing that way of winning a pawn, which I don't think I've really had enough compensation. Had absolute sod all. He's played this well so far, and this knight is pretty good. I don't really want to swap my dart square bishop for it because I have a lot of holes on the dart squares, so I feel like I might need my dart square bishop to cover those holes. I'm thinking I'd rather... Okay, this is a move I'm very happy to see, because he closes the position down and releases a lot of tension. So I'm trying to swap off his knight now with my knight, keeping my dart square bishop. I think he should have kept the pressure over there now. I see he's trying to sort of swarm me on this side, but it shouldn't be that scary. And now if I take, he's going to take here, I guess, with this. So we're just going to move the queen. And now I'm probably threatening to take on e5 twice. And he can't take here. For example, this was his idea before, because my queen was lined up. And the other possibility I now have is taking here and taking on c5. So what shall he do? If he takes my knight, and I feel that's one of the most logical moves, I think I want to take with this pawn. Because if I take this way, it opens up like maybe his rook and maybe this line. So this makes sense. But no, I don't like this pawn, do I? I keep losing this pawn. What am I doing? I must admit, just before playing, I did fall asleep for an hour, and I'm just sort of, this is like my morning time, even though it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I had a little power nap, so I think I might need to get this cup of tea down me to wake up. So yeah, that was okay. Wakey, Simon. And now what can we do here? So is there possibly a sacrifice here? Is there possible? You've got to take your opportunities in these. I don't know. I don't really believe it. Okay, I think e5 is the other move, and now he moves his bishop. So we don't go there. We have to go here. Come on, got to stop well, his knight can still come to this square. Yeah, this position's gone wrong. Really has. Yeah, this, okay, he doesn't do that. He's played a mistake. It's a good thing that my opponent's also asleep, because he could have gone knight check there and gained a very good position. This position now is murky, a lot better than it was for me, because I might better get my rook over somewhere like this and gain some counterplay. I'm wondering if he's going to possibly think about, I mean, even here and taking the bishop is not stupid. Maybe that's a more sensible way to play. Then he takes here. That one's on Prix. Let's go here. I was wondering if he could sacrifice on this square. This rook takes d5. Also something to think about. Then he takes here. But I don't believe that should work for him. So he's trying to open things up. Okay. And now I really want to do something aggressive here. I can come back. But this is takes. Bishop here. Is that? I think we have to go for it. Then rook takes here. I come in with a check. Is it just not working? Takes. Is this a better version? Takes. Check here. Then he takes everything. Okay, I think takes. Bishop here. Takes here. Check. King f1. Check. King here. Takes. I don't really believe it. Okay. We'll have to make a decision soon. Okay, let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's see. We got a sacrifice, but it's a little bit all in now. And now there's a couple of options. So I'm also thinking of bishop here, but bishop e5 has got to be right. Yeah. The only thing is, if he takes, he's going to take this one as well. Rook takes. I don't know, maybe I had a better mood than that. Really got to wake up. I wanted this, but then he takes here as well. And if I check king here, check here, check, I can check there, here, takes, and I'm only the exchange down. I've got the bishop coming back here. It's a little bit of play. It's going to get very exciting. He's got to take here, surely. I mean, this check here, also interesting. King here, then king up. Then I think he can. Okay, check. Wow. Okay, I don't know. There might be something better than this. There's also bishop here. Queen takes. That stops his king running. Can we do that? This big check here. Has he got any way to stop it? Queen here. Oh God, this is complex. Okay, I'm just going to go for the forcing line, but I'm calculating a little bit slowly at the moment. And if king, okay, he's come here. This is not good for him, because now I can take here, and this, he's just given me, yeah, this was a blunder on his part, because now I should have this one, and this was the only way his king could run to safety. And the problem he has in these lines is, well, he has a lot of problems now. Yeah, what's the easiest way to do this? We can still blunder here, of course. Let's try to get the rook out the way, but keep a force field. And he's getting, well, okay, I thought he had to go check there then to have any chance, because when my queen gets back in, which it is now, things are looking, well, they have been looking bad for him for a while. I think I'll just take this one to stop too much funny business. And let's not lose on time. I probably had a better way of doing it, like queen here check. I'll keep that one. I wanted this option of having these rook checks, but obviously I'm a queen up here, so as long as I don't lose on time, we've got this one. But yeah, not a very impressive game by any means, and we're gonna have to improve on this one if we want to have a good title Tuesday. And we haven't won it yet. We're still a little bit down on time. Can I checkmate him? I think we're very close. We will checkmate him with that one. Okay, let me get my cup of tea in. That was a little bit too close to comfort, and my opponent did play. He played, you know, the Rapport Stonewall Dutch there. I mean, it wasn't one of my better ones, I must admit. I've had much better ideas than that. And the one thing to bear in mind, I think, if you're ever facing this sort of white pieces, that I found is certainly a good way of for white to play, is first of all, put the knight on c3. This is the best way for white to face this Stonewall version. And the next thing to do is try to avoid playing e3. And this is, which I kind of like, you know, I'll be honest, I forgot about. I've had these positions so many times that I think the bishop's blocked in. And the real main point is that after my opponent doesn't play e3, I want to play h5 in these positions, but h4 is a very good move. And now if I play g5, it's a bit similar to the game. His bishop is working, so he can just simply, well, take on e4, for example, and take here. And this normally ends up being pretty good for white, this kind of idea. And yeah, I mean, like, you know, you can see that I wasn't playing that well. I mean, this is okay. This is a standard maneuver, but it was when I played that g5 move. So we got someone very high rated now. We've got the white pieces. Let's see if we can wake up quickly. We're going to have to. Little baptism of fire. Wow, 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 fire. Ah, good song, that one. And bishop g5. So what have I been listening to recently? I mean, I don't know how many of you really... Oh, this bloody move. Okay, I was going to try this out, wasn't I? I remember I faced this last week in round 2, and I got a very bad position. I said after the game, let's try this move. So this is what we're going to give a little whirl. I haven't looked at it. Obviously, I said I was going to look at it, but I haven't. And the idea is, well, to punt with a bishop h6. So it just occurred to me this might be an interesting way of facing this setup. And I'm out of the book now, as probably my opponent is. Knight e4, I'll whip it off. c5, probably a very critical move. Maybe I can take it, I don't know. Maybe I can even take there first. And my general idea is very aggressive. I am thinking I just want a castle. And against this move, I figure that I'm swapping off the bishops c5. So again, I don't really know what the right way to play this is. Let's take it, shall we? And if he goes d4, castles, you know, I want to try and keep things sharp. His king can't castle. Knight g4, I'm going to try to come into g7. And against this move, he wants knight e4. So let's, again, play it as sharp as we can. Let's castle. And knight e4. Now I have options of taking these. So, okay, so he takes the queen. Now I want to, again, try to open things up. So e4 seems like the first move that springs to mind. It might just be a mistake. Maybe e3 is the move I'm going to have to come to. Knight f3. Keep e4 as an option. I don't know what is. Maybe this is safest just to guard against d4. But this seems like an interesting variation, right? And is he going to try to castle this way now? I mean, my king is also not very happy in this position. Okay, and now it's becoming clear, going to try and castle this way. Just a bit annoying. Is it now time to bring my queen back and play like this? Or just bring the bishop out? Again, when you're playing positions afresh, it takes a while to get used to them. Well, if I go there, I need to get the bishop out, don't I? So where are we going to move that? This way? Am I taking that knight? Is that knight a key piece? I don't know. Let's do it. Maybe that knight is quite useful to him because it's controlling some key central squares. And when he does castle queenside, then I'll try to bring my queen back. These are the things I'm thinking. And this position seems, well, it seems interesting, doesn't it? So yeah, I mean, I was talking about music, and I found this album the other day. It was Time Machine by Coil. Has anyone heard that album? Absolutely bonkers. It's supposed to be this album that was made by this band called Coil, which I haven't really heard much of, I must admit. And you're supposed to lose. Do we come back now? I don't really want to allow this. Let's take that one. It's supposed to make you... It's called Time Machine for a reason. You're supposed to basically have jumps in time because of the music. Subliminal makes you... Yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, if you like your crazy music, then this is certainly an interesting listen. Very hard to listen to the whole thing because some of it's quite disturbing, but it was really basically tripped me out without tripping when I listened to it. It was very interesting. Okay, so my opponent, this is kind of a bit too normal, this position. Now he wants to play here. If I go here, his king will escape. So let's move the queen in to stop that pawn from moving. And we're going to get some kind of positional game, I expect, with a move like queen d6. Keeping the queens or queen c7 is very similar. Now, keeping the queens on, I don't know, really benefits me. So I think we have to play this one. And I don't know if I want him playing e5, so I'll put the pawn here, but this maybe allows his knight to come through. And now our double rooks, I feel, and I don't know, this position is probably about even. The double pawns, a little bit annoying for me. Do I want the rook here? We just got to play natural and quick moves here, I think. And he does bring his knight in. I do have those double pawns. Maybe they're a bit more of a problem than I had anticipated. Let's try to keep up on the clock. And he's doing some probably clever knight maneuvers. His knight can come this way. And I've got to watch out for this one as well. So I'd love to get rid of the knight. And his knight now does come flying in. But the clock could be a key part of this game. Now, the knight coming here, I wanted to meet this with knight here, or yeah, this one probably the best way, but he's probably slightly better. He has a bit more space, and he has this definitely stuff going on over here, and I don't really have any breaks either. So let's try. Oh my god, what was that? That was terrible, Simon. I mean, here I can come back, but I kind of wanted that square for the knight. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as I thought. A little bit too eager to find a pawn break. I mean, this one I also got knight h7. It doesn't look like it should work, but maybe it does. Okay, maybe I don't need to be scared of this, and maybe this was okay because I'm trying to go e4, and I think I should be playing it now, right? Okay, and now this square is certainly an option, as we noted before. So let's try to get the knight around there. And there we go. Okay, normal moves. We hit the knight. Now, can we push this knight to the sideline? Here, rook c8. This one's on Prix. c3. Looks incredibly risky move to play. He's got d3. This seems right. Okay. But I have this major problem. This here, knight here, b4. And this one. What am I doing here, guys? What am I doing? It's strange. It feels like I should have a good move again, but I can't see it. Okay, we'll move this here for now. And let's get this off here. And he's just coming forwards quickly. Yeah. Right. What am I doing? Come on, think. Your position's probably okay somehow. Do we do this? Bit risky, but okay, time. I've slowed down drastically, which is going to work against me. I just need to play with more instinct and quickness. Put the king on b3. Let's try that, but this move is not working now. Okay, don't have to worry about that at the moment. King on b3. Does my king actually really want to go to b3? I don't know. And let's see if we put the king on b3 anyway. And now his knight, does it want to come in here? Potentially, yes. And let's go here. And now, is this pawn on Prix? Okay. He's breaking. Should have moved my knight there, maybe. It's all on the clock now, this game. Come on. My knight can come back. Good square. Good check. Oh, you've got knight takes. Ah, no. It's a bad move. My king's too weak to do that. Oh, God, look at that. Okay, fell apart there at the end. I was doing all right there, wasn't I? Okay, we'll get serious. We'll take the jump off. Get a little bit cooler. But it was quite an interesting opening, that. Quite an interesting way to play. But just fell apart at the end, really. I haven't quite gotten the rhythm as of yet. And let's just see. I mean, around here, I think I should be even just right at the end here doing okay. And of course, I missed some simple moves here, didn't I? See, I'm just not quite awake. Sorry, I'm just going to adjust things. Sorry, excuse me. I know you can see darkness. That will change soon. Here comes the light. There is the light. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't thinking clearly. My position around here, it's about even, as you can see, but I'm lacking a bit of space. And then this was a good move, e5. I wasn't sure how to meet this. Well, rook here and swing it back into g5. That makes a lot of sense. And this was a mistake because he can now hit my knight. But he played a mistake very soon. And this is my one big chance. And this would have just won the game, actually. This is just massive. It's not even to win the rook. It's to win this pawn. So what did I do here? I played, yeah, why did I go that way? That's crazy. And I had a minute. So missing simple tactics like that, something I should not be doing. That was pretty terrible. And you can see this is just basically winning. I mean, I'm just looking at a good central square for my knight. So I'm not really considering other options. And I'm just thinking I've got to stay up on time. But as soon as I play this, my position starts to go wrong because now he has this pressure against c2. I don't think he could have taken that straight away, but he's now threatening to come in. And it's not so easy to defend now. Maybe I should eliminate the knight, practically speaking. c3 was a terrible move, as you can see. Okay, it's one game. And as we know, first couple of games, we call them warm-up games. Now, I haven't played much e4 for a long time, so I think it's about time we threw in some e4s. And this is my preferred way of playing against the Sicilian. We call this the British Grand Prix. It's quite interesting because you get these two pawns, and it's not very theoretical, which is nice because you can just play a game. And my opponent's playing, I think, quite a key line here, where he's made sure the centre gets all blocked. Now, I have to be careful I don't lose a pawn. I've lost a pawn in this kind of position before. Now takes, you know, you can start putting pressure on it. It's a bit like a French defence, yeah? So next up, I have to maybe avoid castling too soon because then I'm going to be open to tactics around there. Happy to see this check because my knight wants to come here anyway. I don't think he really wants to take my knight because my pawn improves. And I now have a nice square for my bishop. I feel I should castle now because in some of these lines your king gets stuck in the centre. And now I have this extra option of putting my knight here before he has a chance to maybe sacrifice and do some funny stuff. And I know this sacrifice because I play these positions, you know, reversed. We, you know, played this kind of structure as black quite a lot. And the problem that black has in this kind of structure is like a Tarrasch French is that this knight is horrendous unless it gets a chance to sacrifice itself. And it really is not a good piece because it blocks the bishop in it. It doesn't have a good square. So can we now, do we want to swap bishops off? I go there, his bishop comes back or not? I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep pushing him back for the time being. And I expect he will try to improve this knight and then get his bishop out, which he does. So we're also come forwards, try to use this space. And now if I come forwards, is there a sacrifice? Takes, queen takes. Takes here, knight takes. He could try taking here first. Looks a little bit wild. And the one thing, when you have the extra spaces, you keep trying to force your opponent's pieces backwards. So we're just okay. I think we're all right. We keep going forwards with the pawns because he still has this traffic jam. And if his knight tries to get rid of my knight, I take on e6. So this is a bit more positional, this game, just trying to keep the space. And I'd love to get my last piece out. Then we have to consider what happens if his knight comes in. I think he should move his knight in anyway. He does. It's quite annoying. I thought that was a good move. I don't really want to swap off my light square bishop, you see. It's also a good piece. So I'm going to keep it on and try to play around his knight. The reason for that is that this diagonal is really strong in these positions. I mean, the standard idea is to put the queen in front of the bishop and threaten checkmate. So he does move my knight backwards, and of course by doing this he's managed to secure this lovely knight here. The thing is, if I take it, then suddenly his bishop becomes great, and if I could just get this knight off the board, fantastic. But I don't really want to get this knight and the pawn off the board. That wouldn't work so well. So now I assume this is how he's going to meet my plan. So we have to go for the less desirable option of putting the queen behind the bishop, but it still makes some sense. And next move, I've got this decision of, am I actually just going to win the pawn? Because he has to stop this, and I think he has to go h6 here. And such a nice diagonal. It's so hard to give it up for a mere pawn, but it might be a lot better now because he's put his bishop on this square. I mean, he can't go bishop b7 quickly. Saying that, I still don't really want to take it. I want to play this slower. I'm going to play it slower. Oh, not that slow, because then his knight comes in here. So this is probably what I should do. I know the computer would just say, don't be an idiot, just take the damn pawn. But when do we listen to the computer? Now. Okay, I'll take the damn pawn. Okay, I mean, it's not really what I wanted to do. Because if he gets his bishop here, suddenly he's doing well. And you can play moves like this. Okay, I think I should keep the queen on. Because now, I've just got to stop his light square bishop getting here. And I've got d5 ideas. But also, bishop takes h6. Takes queen g6 is the way to attack in this structure. So he comes back. And d5 is another idea. But we can wait for that for one time. Let's get the bishop out. And d5 next is getting more and more attractive, that move. Also queen e4. And now rook c1. So yeah, taking that pawn was clearly the right way to play. d5 takes, queen takes. He moves his king, and then I've got e6. That's quite a nice line. So it's looking all right at the moment. Let's get my cup of tea down, cup of green tea. It's a bit late for coffee for me. Problem is, I kind of have ups and downs of the coffee. I love coffee. I love it, but I can't sleep off the stuff. So only in the morning do I drink a lot of coffee. And I hope you're all doing grand. We had a good Title Tuesday last week. We were slowly waking up this week, which is good, because you should be awake when you play these things. Okay, his rooks. Now I'm hitting this with tempo, so this has to be correct. I thought about it because okay, now surely we can push forwards again. Let's do that. And he's really cramped now. His knight can't come out. His bishop is trapped. He's trying to go here, but this is not as worrying as it was. And I'm just going to try to play sensible moves. So here, and I'd love to get a knight to c6. So let's try to get the knight in there, and it's also aimed against knight here. Knight c6. And allowing my pawn to get here seems like an error on his part. And look at that piece. That's a fantastic knight. But it's only one piece, and he's stopped that one for now. But he's really, really blocked in this position. So I'll go here, just defending a weak point. Okay, he comes in. And now, how are we going to win this one is the next question. This knight, if I move it, he comes bishop here. Queen here. Just keeping things under control. Sometimes to win a game, it's best not to do anything. And this is one thing I learned when I was about like 2300, that to take the next step, sometimes it's best to actually, when you're I mean, I've just allowed this. Sometimes it's kind of best to wait for your opponent to make a mistake, so you don't try too much. Okay, am I worried about queen there? Let's just try and stop that one. So you just be patient and you just sort of say, okay, look at all your opponent's pieces and stop them from having any air. And that's really what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to stop any of his pieces moving out. I'm not trying to find a way to win. I'm trying to find a way to suffocate him. So I'm just making sure if the bishop moves, great. If his knight moves, okay. Now we can do something. His last move is quite clever because I take bishop b6. And is he going to go here? Maybe. So which rook? I've also got this kind of idea. Let's go here. And he takes in a clever way. But he's so short time now. And this is the idea behind my rook coming here, that I can take here next move. Okay. So, smooth game, I think. Reasonably smooth game. Probably find out it wasn't. It was all about getting that, using that space advantage. And there's certain openings where you play them, and, well, any opening, really. And you should know what you're doing in the middle game, your plan. You have particular ways to play the position later on. And when you play this kind of pawn, and basically plans are normally based around the pawn structure. So you look at the pawn structure, and here, if I can maintain the space advantage, I'm going to have more freedom to move my pieces, and my opponent is going to have more trouble. So I just got to avoid my opponent having the chance to break out. And we do that by slowly coming forwards. We didn't even need to do anything too aggressive, but we just gain space. And once I've got this grip over here, I'm really looking at his pieces, and I'm just trying to stop them from having fun. So this is more of not trying to win the game, but trying to stop my opponent from doing anything. And when you played like that, if you can, you know, this is what ex-world champion Petrosian was famous for, and most of the great old Soviet champions, they were brilliant Karpov at, you know, playing preemptive ideas. They could see, oh, my opponent wants to do this, I'll stop it. And eventually the opponents would crack because they got so frustrated and unable to find decent plans. And around about here, yeah, we were pawn up, but when he allowed this pawn to get here, it really is a situation of looking at his pieces. His knight can't move. His rook can't go anywhere good. These bishops can't find any good squares. His rook tried to come out, can't go anywhere. His queen can't go anywhere. And as long as I stop all those pieces from effectively moving past the fourth rank, so as long as they don't come into these areas, then he's really going to struggle here, because he's you know, I don't necessarily need to win this game. I just need to basically not lose the game. Oh, right. So a nice easy one here. Jose Martinez, who is a bit of a living legend, right? Isn't the guy a Joe's Pen? Yes, it is. He's a bloody good player. And he just did really well in the World Cup. So let's see if we can give him a good game. I'm going to play this kind of crazy idea that I've played before. Because I know Joe's, you know, my opponent, very good theoretically. And let's try to keep the position fairly sensible. He's very quick, this guy, as well. He's quick, he's good, but we can also play well at times. So this is sensible stuff so far. And okay, comes here. I'll come pressurize that in normal fashion. His queen comes out. I could take and try to come over to the queen side. So let's do it. Queen b6 again. These are all very normal looking moves. Now, is there this? This is what we want to launch, but there's always bishop here, yeah? So not launching that one as of yet, I don't think. Rook here, bishop here. Probably just I'd probably just lose. Okay. So what other ideas do we have? Well, there's always an idea of pushing the H pawn, so we just push that one. And now, okay. If my bishop comes back, it gets rather passive. What if my queen makes way for the knight? I'm not sure I like that. Does the knight want to come here? Very quick, this guy. So I wanted to not that move. I wanted to bring my knight somewhere else. Okay, let's do this. This is one of my first thoughts. I wanted to get this knight maneuver in, but he's always taking here. So he's played a simple pawn move. And now, if I go here and start swapping things off, let's do this first. The reason is that I want to defend this pawn in some variations. And now here, if everything comes off, this is what we will try. Because his bishop seems stronger than my bishop. My bishop is good for attacking, but I'm not sure it has many other uses. And I don't think the attack was working. I'm taking the rook because queen takes is just a little bit too dull. And now, of course, he's going to get his play over here. So we will try. How weak is this pawn going to be? Maybe quite weak. Let's move it back. Problem with making those exchanges is I do take away less attackers that I could have potentially used. And now he has this coming in. This one just feels very loose, that pawn. But it's loose anyway, so let's do it. His knight can still come here, but right, and we should try and not lose that pawn. If I get short time, it's going to be really difficult. I'm getting near that stage. That's another thing I'm thinking of. Thinking king side chances. I haven't really managed to do anything on the king side, so we're trying to see where we can get a pawn going. And that one would allow his knight this square. That's the big downside of pushing with this, that his knight comes jumping in to a great square. Okay, but now he wants this square. Fair enough. We're going to allow him to do that and hope that if he takes it, it's not the end of the world, because we have this big passed pawn. And this change in structure, I'm kind of thinking it's all right for me somehow. Just going to put the king somewhere safe and then try to queen the big guy here. Now, if his rook comes up, maybe queen here and try to get the rook in. Maybe I should have pushed that pawn last move. I don't know. And if the rook comes now in, I like my position, I must admit. Let's go here and try to make some exchanges. Now, I've got to be very careful of this diagonal. But I feel that making some exchanges must help me. This pawn, very strong for the ending. So he comes back and defends. And we'll just move forwards for now, gaining some space. Now here takes here. So I want to get my queen off that diagonal. Then I want to move my rook across. I feel that I'm better here. But maybe on time, not so much. So like something like queen here, rook here, make some exchanges, queen to pawn is like, you know, an idea. I could even put the rook here because I could see my second rank becoming weak first. Play it slowly, and he's now trying to break out with this. Now, rook here, can I do that as well? Do I might just push the pawn even. Let's just go for it. Let's just push the pawn. Let's not mess around. Okay. And we'll come forwards. Rook b2. And I put it here because I didn't like having my queen on the same line as his bishop. This is now an idea. And let's try to move in like Flynn. Okay. Not sure this helped me really. Don't know if I needed that. Now I guess this is what I'm trying to do, yeah? Queen takes, everything comes off. So he plays here. Do we switch it back maybe? I'm down on time. Come on. I'm getting a bit too nervous because I know I'm doing well here. Maybe knight d2 is what I want. Because then this is a real threat. So knight d2 could be the move to play here. This one. That's certainly the way to play. Should play that last move, but okay, he's playing for a draw. We obviously play for the win. Let's say obviously. So that's the way we've got to roll. I've allowed him to come in. Is this going to be mate over here? Check here, check here. Oh man, if I let this happen, takes, should have just repeated, shouldn't I? Takes, check here, check here, check. He's come back. Okay. Moving that knight in was very risky of me. Simon, move. Yeah. I couldn't find the right way. Now he's coming around the back. Fuck. Queen here. I needed a little bit more time against this expert of blitz chess, and he really is a fantastic blitz player. No, I'm going to go h7. That was just a mouse slip. Fuck's sake. Oh, King h7. And King h7, game on. Fucking hell, that was annoying. That's obviously where I'm going to put the king to avoid all of that crap. And I didn't do that. Oh man, that was fuck. Oh, that was very annoying. Okay, I just want to go back there. So was King h7 all right there? Well, King h7 is definitely better, isn't it? It's game on. And just not really quick enough. So this position looked really good for me. And we had a little repetition of moves. And maybe this knight d2. I don't like this knight d2. It's probably not as... I mean, it's better for me, this position, but it's not as good as I thought. And considering he is the blitz legend, I probably should have just, you know, repeated until my opponent tries to find a way. Because this... It's a nasty little threat here. And, okay, I'm not better anymore. I mean, I probably could have come back and it's still game on. I mean, I don't know. But the end, very frustrating end, especially. Yeah, I mean, even if he is a blitz legend, he was down to the last 18 seconds, and if I just played quicker there, I had a great chance. So that was another frustrating game. Fuck. But we were doing fine there for a long time, and I mean, this position just nice. His idea of allowing this pawn here, I think it was not right. I think he was doing fine here. normal position, because now if I go here, he gets another good square. But he actually made, I would say, a little error here in judgment, because I'm very solid now. You know, I have a very compact structure. I've got no weaknesses. The doubling pawn is not bad, and he's got this long-term issue with this one, and I should have played this a bit better. I mean, I think, you know, looking at this again, it would have made more sense not to bring the queen this way, to keep the queen in the center. So I keep my queen on one of these two squares, because it holds the pawn, holds off any breaks. My opponent, let's remember, he can't really do anything here. And then I play with the rooks on the b file, because if I can swap off more pieces, there's no need to rush pushing this pawn. And I can even combine that with g5, g4. So it's very easy to see afterwards. But 50%, what can we do? Another bad sort of first start to proceedings. As in, it takes me a while to warm up. But let's get a roll going now. Let's try and have a really good second part of this competition and see if we can. We've got rid of the cobwebs. Let's blow them out of the system. Let's try to blow our opponents off the board. Let's not try to blow them. Let's try to blow them out of the water. English is a tricky language sometimes. Next game starting soon. All right, so we're into the middle part, next 4 games, and we'll go with French defense. Let's see if we can get a. Oh, for why the fuck does everyone play this shit against me? It's okay. I'm gonna have to sack a pawn. I mean, the exchange French. What is wrong with people? I mean, I'm sorry, but okay. One thing we got to do: if someone plays the exchange French against you, you got to teach them a lesson, because the point is, come on, you just don't do it. Just don't play the exchange French. It's very symmetrical, not very exciting. Now, can I teach my opponent a lesson? This is the question. Now, I want to play something with this. Now, if I go, okay, what about queen here first? My opponent moving quite quickly. Actually, this is just a bad move. And now we contest the rooks. Okay, well, I mean, it's still this position just very even. I've tried to, I mean, I really wanted to get the knight here. Maybe I can now, just to unbalance it somewhat. So let's do that. This is why I put these pieces here, to try and get my knight to this more aggressive square. And the thing, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the exchange French in general, but when you're playing Blitz should be fun. It shouldn't be, you know, you should try out crazy openings. And anyone who plays exchange French on Title Tuesday, time and time again, should be shot. Or at least mildly prodded with a cattle prod for a while, until they're exchange French. You should condition them a little bit, like, you know, on move 3, rather than taking a pawn, show them the advanced French. And every time they look at the exchange French, you prod them, you know, Pavel's dog style. Or every time they take on d5, they get prodded. This would be a great way to train. This might be my new chess website, electrochess.com. And what you do, you plug yourself into, you plug yourself into a, do I do here? I don't know. Do I do that? Do I not? Do I double rooks? Let's double rooks. You plug yourself into an electric machine that can give you electric shocks. And every time you play a move that is boring as hell, you get a vicious electric shock. Exchange French, and you train them. This is going to be such a great website. I can see it now. Okay, I'm not really thinking. I'm thinking about this new business idea now. Let's not get mated. That's always a good idea. But now he's got, okay. It's actually getting quite tactical now. And I've got to think. And that's always problematic. Here takes bishop here. That's boring as hell. I like that. It's electric chess. Yeah, like rather than spaced repetition, chessball style, or rather than chess.com, let's look at a video by a good player. This is literally like you have a set of moves and it says, what do you play next? If you pick the wrong move, brrr, have some of that. Have some of that, you exchange French player. Like it. Electrochess.com. could be a real rival for chess.com. Okay, now I feel that bishop here is going to do some damage. So let's just take there, put the bishop here, and say, there you go, exchange French player. Electrocute yourself. Brrr! And that is exactly what exchange French players deserve. They deserve to lose pieces. Now, I do have a history. There you go. He's just resigning, and 17 moves in the exchange French is exactly what you need to get when you play this move. And maybe everyone plays this move against me. I have a really good score against the exchange French, actually, because they've watched my videos and they know how much I... It's actually not a bad move. I'm exaggerating. Any opening is actually interesting, because the middle game's the most interesting part of it. And there's this obsession that people have with openings. They're like, oh, you can't play the Kurayan because the computer says it's -0.4. And generally people who say this are about 1200 strength, have no idea about anything. And they're like, I've got to play the Raul Lopez because that's what the computer tells me. And basically the rule is you can play whatever opening you like, pretty much. It doesn't matter. Enjoy yourself, because it's not the opening. Unless you're like really strong, it doesn't matter. It's how you play the middle game. Just, as long as you play an opening that you like playing, that gives you what you want, like active pieces, if you like passive, whatever, play it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. People are obsessed with what opening they play. Doesn't matter. And it's always weak players that are obsessed. Look at Magnus Carlsen. He plays any old bullshit at times. Do we have to look at this game? Why am I even looking at this game? And it went wrong for my opponent when I got the here, because it's very passive. He should go here, right? Try to gain the 2 bishops or something, because that knight's also coming this way, which I kind of saw. And he could claim a slight edge, I guess, if I move it this way. He's got this square. I don't know. It's still very symmetrical. And as soon as I get the knight here, it feels, we'll check the analysis, that I should be doing pretty well. But no, that's not actually the case. The computer says that white's doing well. Computer loves exchange French. It shows you just what's wrong with the world. I mean, this did nothing. This is a nice positional idea to gain space, but it's not really doing anything. And then my opponent came up with this rather bad idea that loses material. But again, that's all that you deserve. Okay, next game starting in seconds. That's the first, this middle section, that's the first win of 4. Next 3, we've got to win there. We want to get to 6 out of 8 so we can push for a monstrous score. We can still get 9. To beat last week, we've got to get 8. I'm playing all right now, playing better than I was at the start. So, come on, let's roll. And I will save the nonsense chatter for the next game. Probably concentrate a bit more, shouldn't I? Points. Should I? Maybe. I don't know. Okay, let's go for e4 again, just to mix it up. Got a tough opponent here, a Russian 2900, and we go for this little system. I think it worked all right last time. I have to say, I don't know if it's just me, or it feels to me that the ratings on chess.com are getting a little bit inflated. Is that a possibility? This is actually a good way to play as well, with the knight coming here. But this guy clearly a strong player, and I know this is one idea I've got, but I might also try to avoid pushing this one. I don't know. Bring the knight out. Knight's quite good on c2 for a number of reasons. If I do go for this plan, which I played in that other game, the knight defense, well, I can't do it anymore because he's played this. And he's probably going to go for a6 anyway. Let's wait until he does that, until I bring my knight back. I'll get the king off this slightly weak diagonal. And is it time to bring it back now? No, maybe not, because my knight still has this chance. And got to be an even position, because it's... yeah, there's not much going on at this moment. Can I somehow generate on the king side? So he starts to find targets to hit this one. Now, knight over here. I want my queen to go there ideally, but then he comes in here. Obviously, we don't want to lose this pawn. I don't want to move g3. Just make some weaknesses. So where else can this knight go? I don't like this one, but moving here, maybe better. What am I doing next in this position? So this is my big dilemma. How do we generate? Now, this would be a normal plan, but then this one's weak. Okay, that surprises me that he took there. And he's going for here. So again, I don't want to play g3 because it weakens me on this diagonal. So to be avoided if possible. And how do we play this one? Is that very weakening? But okay, let's go proactive. Let's go for it. I have bishop here as well first, but we'll keep that as a check. And now we come over with a queen. I'd love to get more firepower against h7s. How can we do that? I can't see how we're going to do that here. There's no obvious way. He opens up his bishop towards my pawn. The knight comes around. So what I'd love to do is get my bishop to c4. I've got to get rid of the knight to do that. But there's always this kind of stuff to watch out for as well when I play that. So we're both slowly and patiently building. Now, do I slip the queen in here? It's blitz. I can't think with this idea. Bit outrageous idea, but he played a slow last move, so why not? Because the rook would really be handy over here. He can think about playing this. Okay, now, obviously, don't fall for something here. Now, knight f4 suddenly becomes an option because we also have that. So he is playing this move. I'm just going to come back for now. Taking, also interesting, but it's a very nice square here for my knight. Okay, so he comes in. So we should take that. Now queen takes, is it okay? I think so. My knight covers this. Okay, now again. Such a strong piece, this one. This is... I'd love to... Okay, what about here? Again, don't think play. Knight d5. And also bishop. My dark square bishop, one piece, not doing anything. So I'd love to get the bishop out. Because if I get rid of that knight, suddenly ideas like bishop to one of these two squares becomes an option. So what next? Knight here or bishop d2? Bishop d2 seems more solid. Is he going to go queen here to try and eliminate my queen? I don't want to swap queens. So then, therefore, here. But then his queen really gains in value. And also, this one, yeah, queen e4 looks like a good move to me. So maybe, oh, he's played it. Okay. So, well, this could be a better square because I just keep an eye on this one. And now rook here. Any threat yet? Rook takes here. Is it a threat? He's played this well, yeah? Here, rook takes here. Queen takes. Can I get away with this? I'm a couple of moves away from doing well, but something a bit iffy about my position here. It looks like it's sort of I'm a bit scared of g2. Now I've got rook here and bishop here. If I get a couple of moves in, I'm doing grand. You know, I could either start playing queen h4. Like bishop here, queen h4. This kind of idea. Queen h4. Now he takes here. So, okay, so he's simply building. So we've got to go here. This is This is a move I must play because I need to be able to move this bishop if he plays rook here. So now here, and I've got to get rid of that one. So this one looks forced. Now, does he have knight takes? Rook takes here. Bloody hell, he might do. Knight takes are very scary. Rook takes, then take here. Very scary move to face. Well, I haven't... Yeah. Bugger. Should have thought about that more. Takes, there's something very gone wrong. If I play that move, isn't there? Takes, knight takes. It looks really scary there. Losing, I think. Fuck. Should have thought about this more. This just can't work, can it? Don't like this for a number of reasons. This checkmate ideas everywhere. It was just one move away. Maybe bishop f3 was not right. It looked like I was getting on top of things there, but maybe not. We can still get 8 points if we lose this, but there is some fight in this position left. Oh. Okay, bishop here takes here. Rook here. Takes there. Got to go bishop. I can't see anything else except for this at the moment. Too many threats going on, isn't there, here? I think I have to try this, but it clearly just goes bishop takes knight. If there's not something better, I mean, this is the only thing I could see to take, to not be mated. Pin this one down. Now, is he threatening here? Not yet, so we'll come in. We don't want to pull the trigger on capturing that yet, until we have to. Maybe I should have, because shit, that's annoying. Oh, yeah, this is probably it. Fuck. Nothing. I can't see anything here now. No, nothing here. Nothing here to do. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. No, nothing to do. Ah, okay. So just have a look there. Well, we can still get 8, but we're going to have to play better now. Yeah, I should have seen that queen sack. Like I said, it was so close to being quite good for me, and it just wasn't, was it, unfortunately? And it's not surprising, really, of this pressure mounting along here. And did he have a kill here? He did. He could have actually, yeah, the move I was worried about, he could have played rook takes g2. And that was very strong. And after this, it's not as clear. And in this position, I had to be a bit more straight and just played rook f2. This idea, it walked into knight takes f3, which is really only his only move. Other moves I'm fighting, so it's very close to being all right. And the question is, where did it start to go wrong? Because I was feeling pretty confident at this point, but it's not as good as one had assumed. And maybe now I should keep the queen here because I lost key time, and maybe now I should be playing this. But all right, okay, let's concentrate on his last 2 games, try to get to the break with 5 points. So it's not going to be easy. We need 2 out of 2 to have a chance of getting a good score. And we go with the French against someone who looks like a youngster. Tarrasch French, thank goodness no more exchange Frenches. I love playing the Tarrasch French in blitz chess, but I'm not such a great fan of it over the board now. I'm gonna have to switch things up at some point. I've got some ideas. I won't tell you what I'm switching to because you could be my future opponent listening. This line, a lot of fun for black to play. Generally, there's always these ideas in the air, and I'm setting that idea up now. And also, I want to be able to keep my dark square bishop. My dark square bishop, great. My pawns are on light squares, making the other coloured bishop a good bishop because it works around those pawns. My light square bishop is therefore bad because it's on the same colour as those squares. And there's 2 points behind this. One is if he tries to keep swapping off dark square bishops, we don't. We take the knight. And the other idea is rook takes f3 becomes a real option. And I might just pull the trigger now. We don't even need to do that. This is another idea we have in this system. And this was very tempting, don't get me wrong, but the idea of this one is we can play with a move you'll probably see me playing next. I would have thought, depending how he captures this way. Okay, well, I'll still play it. I'll put the queen over here. So this is another idea behind there. You get the queen hitting his weak pawn in the middle and bringing it over to the king side. And this way I haven't need to sack the exchange. Sacking the exchange fun, but I don't know if it's entirely needed. Now this is one thing he could think about to try and get control over the e5 hold, but I'm covering e5 pretty well now, so I don't think that's a major concern. I'll go a6 next, so if his bishop comes here, I've got b5. And he does play it. Probably one of the better ideas. And okay, as he's playing on that area of the board, let's start going for the king, because that is checkmate. If we get anywhere near it. I don't know if pawn or bishop takes is better, but let's take with a pawn. And if he comes here, I am going to grab that one. And otherwise, I'm going to try to kick that knight away so he can never come in here. Now, all pretty normal stuff. It's pretty this is a pretty normal tie Tuesday today, I have to say. As in, okay, f2 a little bit weak. So should we double up first? Because if I go there, I'm pretty sure he was going to sacrifice. So we're going to try to juice up that square a little bit. As I say, this is pretty sane. I'm talking a lot about my moves, not too much craziness going on. You know, sometimes we just, and I'm not scoring greatly, so, but we need to win the next 2. Get to the break. Come on, 8 points. All I've got to do is win the next 5 games. It's quite a lot of games, isn't it? Okay, we'll play this. I don't know, maybe G4 is right, but we want you, my friend. Now, is his idea something weird like Queen A5? Hitting this one? I don't think we're not worried about that side of the board, are we? That side of the board is very strange. 2 bishops, normally a good thing. It doesn't look fantastic here because this one's a lemon. A smelly lemon. This one is like Eeyore. It's the Eeyore of bishops. Oh, I don't want to come out and play today. I'm very happy. It's rainy outside. Just let me be. I'm happy to answer the doorbell if I need to. There's one doorbell over there. There's another doorbell there. Don't know why my accent is changing either. That's very strange. Okay, so he's... Well, I don't know where he's manoeuvring his pieces to. Well above my pay grade. He still wants to come in here, doesn't he? So, cover that one. I think it's time. Oh, I can't resist it any longer. It's probably not sound, but yeah, we've got to do it. Why did I do that? That was ridiculous. I didn't need to do that. Absolute nonsense. Okay, Simon, that was nonsense. We got a pawn for it. We got a pawn. His light squares are weak, so can Eeyore wake the fuck up? Come on, Eeyore. Like, well, if I could possibly get to E4, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I could try that if I wanted to. Yeah, you're going to need to get me out to get into the light squares, aren't you? Why is my accent now turned to a weird northern accent? I don't know. We're going to go E5 so you come to life. That bishop can come to life, and the other one might be able to come in on the light squares. You're not supposed to do moves like that, are you? That's just naughty. We don't like tactics in this household. No tactics, please.
Okay, so you've done that. So now I can come out and play. You gonna let me play? Okay, so where are we gonna play? Shall we play?
Okay, right. What is going on? I can't do that voice any longer. It's literally making me think funnier than usual. What is the material? This is actually not great for someone, whatever that means. Okay, I'll put that there because I don't know where else to put it. I wanted to come here. Okay, he's coming in. Do we try to grind him in the ending?
Well, you're relying on me to win the game, aren't you? All the pieces are going to be come off. You're going to be left with the light squared bishop. Well, I wouldn't put much faith in me if I was you. You shouldn't have done that, should you? You're a bit of a loser, really, trying to swap the queens off like that. You should leave the queens on the board. What are you trying to do? Oh, no, don't do that. Everything's going to be exchanged. You can't rely on me. I've told you once. I told you twice. I'm not a winning piece. Just leave me alone. I want to go back to bed again. Why are you playing with me? You're trying to win an ending that is kind of ridiculous. Why have you done this? Why have you done this to me? And you're showing no understanding of the ending.
Actually, this is okay. Okay, right. Back to this. Should be quite good for me because a rook's pawn is very good against a knight. So a rook's pawn against a knight. A rook's pawn in an ending can be very good. King and pawn ending could be good. In a knight ending, it'd be great because the knight can only defend that rook's pawn from one side. But to win this, tricky to say the least. What you have to do, you have to combine. Okay, I was nearly able to take that one there. If my king was here, I better take that one. So it should. I feel this is very close to winning. So the way to win this is you've got to divert his pieces that way. Then either come this way or come towards the pawn. So we're going to come towards the pawn now. And is this winning here? Okay. So check. Okay, I can go, or do I come this way? This is kind of a key moment. Okay, let's go here first, and then we can wait. So check. Do we come this way, or do we stick here? Here takes, bishop takes, king takes here. King g2, king e3, king g3, king here, king f2, king. Okay, this looks close to winning if he takes this pawn. Outside pass pawn, because again, like I said, we're trying to distract him to that side of the board and then come the other way. So again, still very tricky to win. If winning at all. Trying to use some zugzwang techniques. And now, do we go here yet? No, we can push a little bit more and more. I think. So I want to get these pawns as far up the board as possible. Don't know what happened there. It looked like my clock. And now it must be time to come and go all in for these pawns, basically, whilst at the same time trying to. So I've got my pawns up as far as I can, hence why I'm pulling the trigger on this side of the board. And okay, yeah, obviously this is a queen, which is pretty handy in chess, I hear. So let's not throw it away somehow ridiculously. Do you know what's better than? Do you know what's potentially better than one queen? Two queens. And just don't lose any of your queens. Queens are good. And why am I even thinking here? I'm not sure. Why is he playing on? I'm even less sure. Because as long as I keep checking him, he's not going to survive. Okay, that's the first one. Right. Pretty well done, Eeyore. You did the job there. You jumped out of your
depression, and you got in the game. Oh, thanks, Si. You made me feel better there, but why'd you swap me off at the end? I thought I was going to be a hero there.
Sounds like a farmer, Eeyore. I used to love Winnie the Pooh. Eeyore, what a character. Happy in his depression, I feel, maybe. Anyway, good Eeyore, very, very good philosophical book. We're playing this guy again, and am I going to stick with D4? We played him played him last week. See, it's weird because I don't know if it's inflation. I seem to get harder games on these scores than I used to. I'm moaning. Stop. I'm sounding like bloody Eeyore. Big game here. If we can win this one, then we have a chance of getting 8 points. Very class player, my opponent, strong Grandmaster, but okay, we can take him down. Vasif, as if, you if. And why is he not moving? Who knows? And did we do this last time? I don't know. Let's do it this time anyway. Avoiding the main lines against these guys. They look at chess too much. And what do I play against this knight d2? Do we have? I think we had this last time, last week. If you look at my Title Tuesday, I think it was very similar to this. Now you can also take that. I mean, I very much like this position for white, but I'm a little bit biased, and I like this position because the only difference really is the two bishops, and my bishop feels to be a little bit more oomphy. Now I've had this before and I had this recently, and I tried this move, and the point of this is, who did I beat? I beat some Russian guy who's over 3,000. The point of this idea is really to try and stop a knight coming here, and this is like not really a computer's main idea, but it's also these bishops. And which of those is better? My one, because his pawns are on light squares. We talked about this. His bishop is bad. My pawns are on dark squared. This one is better. Okay, so my opponent's moved his knight here. That's kind of probably a good move. Because if I take, it just comes in. So do I have to play this? No, I don't know g4 is premature, because the other idea we can try and achieve, which I'm definitely doing now, is to just take this knight off and use that square for my knight. So again, positional chess. So this is a great square because he can't exchange my knight off there with his bishop, because it's a light square bishop, that's a dark square, but I can exchange his knight off with this bishop because it's on a light square. I have a light square bishop. So this is some positional figuring that we're doing. That we could even just go takes here, my knight sits there forever, and his bishop will be trapped behind a pawn of some description on this square. So positionally, he's got some danger. So he's trying now to playing here. So I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna take this one off, and I'm gonna take this square in the middle of the board, as mentioned. Because otherwise, you know, his idea was to come bishop here, and his knight's very strong, and we're going to use this square forever. He can't get rid of that knight unless he does a rook for it. We're going to take this way now. I don't normally take this way, but I don't want him having any freedom opportunities. And now we've got to go back to playing normal chess. I'm hoping that endings are going to be good for me with mass exchanges, but he has managed to gain the upper hand on the file. So here, okay, it's annoying he's got this C file, right? Could I have helped? Okay, let's go here. So we don't need to exchange, do we? We can play this one coming in, nothing. Let's go here to stop a queen coming here. Yeah, and now we got to. That bishop's got still. I'm not worried about the bishop. It's not got any good squares. My knight is better. This is what I'm relying on. This knight. Now he could go g5. Okay, now he wants me to win that one, but I don't think we want to do that. And he wants rook here. Do we have to win that one? Okay, well, I'm going to take now, because if he takes the rook, might not even win that one. Here. Don't even want to win that one. I don't even want to win that pawn there. And I've just got to watch the queen coming here. But I think my king covers everything on g2. And we're going to try play around his bishop and prove that my knight is superior. That's, again, thinking logically. And at some point, obviously, we might just win a pawn. But once we've got rid of everything else. I could have probably done this better. Because it was a lovely idea, I think, of getting my knight here. Knight in the middle of the board. Fantastic. But there's only one piece, right? Okay, so now we swap and come in. Again, these endings, I'm assuming, are good for me. His pawns are on light squares. My pawns are on dark squares. He can't attack my pawns with his bishop. His pawns may well be weak. So we'll find out. Into the ending we go. Now, he's trying to complicate matters. Don't know if these captures I can take and go c4 or get two strong pawns. Bit controversial because I put a pawn on a light square. Now this one is what I'm thinking, and let's go for it. So pass pawn. If he goes here, I keep pushing. Now my king wants d4. This is the only pass pawn I can see him getting, so my king here would control that. Takes here. Nothing to worry about. Let's move the king here first. But then he comes in the light. He comes in. Suddenly he starts hitting my pawns. Shit. Okay, I'm going to rely on this pawn winning the game there. That's a bit silly. I don't know if I should allow that. So he wants this. It's weird how I could come. Okay, if I come back, let's just stop that because he can't get across any of these squares with his king, and I think I should go h4 first. Lovely idea. This is a lovely idea. So had I come forwards, he comes here and he harasses this. So the h pawn is my weakness. So I'm going to try. And I was going to try and get rid of the h-pawn first. Now, it doesn't mean this is winning. Now, what if I come to d4 now? Because we have got rid of that one, right? So let's come to d4. And try like this. Now here, he's got two sets of passed pawns to go for. Here, takes. He's got to take that one. Because otherwise that pawn is going to... Oh, he doesn't have to take it, really. Yeah, I've given him counterplay here, which is a bit stupid, isn't it? And I've given him this bloody rook's pawn, which is the one thing I didn't want to do. I thought I didn't see this plan. Oh, man. This would be a hard game to throw away. Have I just thrown this away? Time. Okay, I have to take this, but then how am I dealing with that? I don't know. This bloody rook's pawn. Really throwing this one away. Okay. Man. Oh, Simon. Had a really nice positional game until it wasn't. You know? And, yeah, these pawns are just too strong now. Unfortunately. Fuck. Okay. Resign. Bad game. I just rushed a little bit there. I had time as well. That was a bad game. Okay, let's just see what I should have done at the end. So I have this very nice edge from playing a good game, grinding away, and here this was clearly the wrong idea. I needed to be a little bit more patient, because why did I give him this pawn? I thought he had to give his bishop up for the pawn, but he didn't, and I just had a lack of calculation there. It might still be good, but I don't need to do that. It's not as good as I thought. Could I have done this more carefully? Let's have a look. So here, I should. Not clear what the computer's suggesting here. It's giving me a big advantage, a winning advantage, but it's not clear why. Okay, so let's see. So getting the king here looks winning. Should I have gone check and taken here? No, that doesn't really help. G5. Let's keep going here. So this is actually a mistake. So I need to have this as an option against this one. It's a bit harder than I thought, but of course it is winning. That was a very painful loss, that. Really painful. We're trying to finish with an okay score, but that was a big game. Because to be honest, I think I played that really well for most of it. And they're the most painful losses, when you throw it away like that. And first of all, like, okay, this is fine. And I could actually even just push on here. I didn't even consider this. I didn't even consider the simple move. This is crazy. I just thought, okay, I got all the time in the world. But I thought his king could get to one of these two squares, but of course it can't. So this is just, this is even getting more painful. I can't look at this anymore. That would have just crowned a nice win. Oh fuck, that was painful. Okay, I'm gonna have a little break. 3 rounds to go. Bad loss there. And just a lack of calculation. Fuck. Well, those kind of losses are the most painful, because you play well. So we need a black line now, don't we? We need a bit of violence on the board. You play well, you outplay a good player with some nice strategy ideas, and then you just fail to put the ball in the back of the net. It's bloody frustrating. If you're frustrated, imagine how pissed off I am. Pissed off. Okay, anyway, life goes on and we have to bounce back, and we're getting a more boring version of the black line because my opponent released the tension by capturing here. Okay, well, that's all okay. And does he want this move? Can we do something? Don't know if I want the knight to go here. It's one of those weird ones. Let's put the bishop here. So if he goes a4, I can go b4 at least. Avoid some exchanges. And it's always working out where to put the pieces, isn't it? Well, that's chess for you. So let's whack it over there. Another idea. Getting out the pin. And it's generally going to be a bit of a manoeuvring game, isn't it? Okay, so using the pawns. Got to go there. Got to push him back. Now, watching out for tactics. Is that a tactic? Well, there's bound to be something now with this one. Okay, I'm not even gonna calculate. I'm not calculating more. It gives a piece, but if there's not something happening on f2 here, I am amazed. Absolutely amazed. There's not something happening here. Now, what is the kill? What is the kill? Takes here. His queen has to move. I mean, first question, what do we capture with? Do we capture with the bishop or not? Wow, knight takes looks right, but where is the next check? I'm thinking this might even be bizarrely the way to go. Now, for some reason, I'm looking at this, but if here, or if here he takes bishop g3, just feels very strange though. Even bishop here, wow. Oh, God. Now I've seen this move. Can I get that move out of my head? I mean, that is such a sexy move, but it might be rubbish. He goes bishop here. Such a sexy move to play. It really is. But I can't see a move after bishop here. Okay, we'll go here. Knight f2 is the big idea, and I want to stop this bishop h4 to cover knight to f2. So he comes back, and he's defending this annoyingly, isn't he? Okay, I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna somehow I didn't find the force window. It looked so good, that position, and we got a game where I spent a lot of time trying to find it. This is one I have to look at afterwards to find where the kill was, because I'll be amazed if there's no kill. And we are going to win the rook, but he's got 2 minor pieces. And I've done it this way because his bishop seemed quite strong. And we got these checks. But let's not rush taking this one, because his knight will come out. But we have to take it now because his knight's getting ready to move. And he goes here. It's a bit surprising. So I'm going to come in anyway. I don't mind about giving him a pawn, because we keep coming forwards. And now if I go here, trying to stop his knight from moving. This one, I mean, because I take the rook. This one I'm sorry, I was just looking at. Then I thought I'd come to one of these 2 squares. Even this weird idea. Is my king covered? I think so. I think my king is pretty much covered. Okay, so he comes this way, and now we obviously come and threaten mate and increase the pressure along this line. And if he moves his queen, because he needs the g3 square, we can just pick up the knight or the queen. I don't know which is better. Let's take the knight, and of course he should be losing pretty easily now, because we'll material up, and we've still got all the pressure as well. So I don't know if I take that or not. There's too many good moves here. Check. Let's go for some checks. Let's see if they get anything. If he goes to f2, we got this one, so he has to come this way. And I'm kind of liking this position now. But where's the finish, guys? Okay, let's start with this. We've got bishop here. But I want something. I want to create a little bit of art if I can. Can we create some art here? This one, let's go. Let's bring it in, because it can only help. And where is the art? We've got g5, king here. Also just got, no, we don't have that. Where is the finish? Where out? Okay, let's go here, because knight d2 is his next move. Hit my rook, buys me a little bit more time to try and find the finish. This is a good one for you guys. Can you see the finish? There must be a nice checkmate. You've got 48 seconds to find it. Takes, check here. Check here. Bishop d3. Is that mate? No, because he has queen. Okay. No. Let's go here. Let's bring his king a little bit nearer. And now I want to go bishop. I want to go queen. I've got a lovely idea. This one, I want to create some art though. So bishop c2. Now here. And then queen here. But queen g6 I want. Here. Takes. Okay, queen h6 is obviously mate in 1. I don't know. I want to do it. I want to give up my queen somehow. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Okay, I'll just put it in the back of the net. Okay, there we go. The little king hunt. I mean, but I made a bit of a meal of that earlier on. So f2 was so weak in his position that we should look at what I missed here. Clearly, there's some kind of win in this position. Did you do better than me? Maybe you did better than me. And knight f2 was the winning move. So, okay, so it wasn't this one, This is what I wanted to play because it just looks so bizarre with knight f2 coming, but he's actually got a number of moves here, as you can see from the computer. So I did play bishop g3, and I've got some advantage, but knight takes was the way to go. And I just couldn't. I just wasn't sure what to do. Let's say if he moved king h8, what the hell was that move? Let's say yeah, so queen d2. Well then I had this check, don't I? And that wins the queen. So did I? Okay, so his queen is basically the whole point is I was hallucinating this queen could come here, but it can't. And the fact remains that his queen has no squares to go to, because I always have a knight jump just winning the queen. But this is one time. This is one of the things that often lets me down. I look too much for checkmate the king when I should just be like, yeah, I'll take the queen. I'll take the queen. Yeah, queen's good enough. Give me a queen. Thanks, mate. Queen's all right. I'll take it. If you don't want it, I'll just have it. And just take the bloody queen. Just take the queen. But because there's nowhere his queen can go, is it? Queen d2. And now knight e4 is the simplest. Just take the queen. And was there a mate later on? It's kind of a fun game, that one. More fun than the last one. And here, bishop f4. Okay, is the best move. And now this was good. Here takes, and now this was a really bad move by him. He had to develop these guys. This is a very strange decision to leave these pieces here. I know he's trying to win a pawn, but pawn is not important. And now he's really tied up. And yeah, this is just gone now because his king starts to wander up the board, and he's losing quite simply. So 2 games to go. We're on 5 points, and yeah, it's not as good as last week, but we'll try to finish strong. At least we'll try to get finish with 2 out of 2 in the next couple of games. Well, we can always try, can't we? And the next game, well, we'll start in a jiffy. Well, here we are. We're playing my buddy Eric, and well, Eric is a lovely geezer. I'll just say hello. And if you think about like streamers, me and I think Eric like were probably some of the first chess streamers around. You know, Eric was sort of doing it with the chess bars with his mate Aman, obviously. We played some matches, and Eric, incredibly strong blitz player, and well, chess player in general. He's a very good player, but he has a good life, Eric, I think, concentrating on the more enjoyable side of chess. So he gives a lot of good stuff to the chess world. I can't speak fondly enough about Eric, and we have had a couple of beers in the past in various places. Berlin, that was interesting, and other places, and a top geezer, as we say in England. So we're into the Dutch, and this is, well, one of the main lines that I punt, and have punted many a time. I know this pretty well, so I'm a bit surprised there it didn't go e4 against me and move 1. Probably more my weak point, because the classical Dutch is my bread and butter, as we say. And you've always got to meet e4 of e5, and I had this position, I don't know, maybe if I include blitz games, maybe like 100 times, let's say. Still don't know what to do, but and I had it over the board. I lost 1 game against Shirov in this line, where I think he took. Then he did something with rook d1 and rook b1, and the general idea, you can punt like f4 in these positions, which is always like a good laugh, and the queen comes around here. So I think Eric is trying to follow the game that I had against Shirov, and it might well have been this position, and I wish my memory was better, but it's not. It's shit. Unfortunately. So did I play b6 there? I honestly can't remember what I was supposed to do. So in that Shirov game, I grabbed this rook, which wasn't the right way to play, and I'm just trying to remember what the correct way to play is. First idea, this one, then takes f3, bishop f1. Should be some compensation, but it's not all over. And then there might just be a bishop f6, and there might even be a pawn takes here. And I honestly have looked at this position, and it's probably in my chessboard course, but I've drunk so much beer in my life, I can't remember shit, unfortunately. So what do I do? Come on, I know this position. Come on, Simon. Takes. I have looked at this. It's weird. I'm just trying to remember. I think f4 is playable. Is it playable? Okay, f4 takes. Takes, rook takes, f3. I just can't see how I'm getting much play there when I look at it now, which is weird. But am I getting any play there? It's kind of bullshit. I like the look of, but it's not convincing me. And bishop here, c5. I don't see the point of that one. Got to move soon. Taking. Bishop f5. We'll just punt this one because I honestly can't think. So we'll just give this a punt, shall we? And now if knight takes, we'll do this and we'll go here, and we'll see how this turns out. He's got to go bishop f1, I'd have thought, and then I'm going to go here and claim that it's a very clever pawn sacrifice, but actually this is not the correct way to play, and my memory fails me yet again. Hoo-ha. And I'm sort of relying on this pawn being a problem for him. He's got double pawns, and I've got sort of development in some ways, but I've spent how much did I spend that move? Too long. But this is kind of what I want next. Bishop to e6, and game goes on. I think bishop e6 is right. I'd like to keep this rook away. The rook's a good one, and you know, in the long run, you want to do this and go for checkmate on the h file somehow. So he's played here. I'm gonna go here to try and cover this diagonal. Now he could think about some stuff with queen b3. Kind of interesting, but this pawn is weak now, as in bishop takes c5 is always like an option. And the big idea is, I guess, bishop here, forcing him to give up the exchange when he would love to have bishop to this square at the end. So I've really got to watch out for that. So something like queen a4, bishop here takes, bishop c4, game over. So the light squares are a target. So putting the king on h8 against nearly any move is very sensible, and that's good because it means lazy. I've got this. I got one present for my birthday. I got more. Got one off a mate, and if you haven't seen this program, what are you missing? It's who's that? Come on, who is that? You know who that is. This is a Dobby Cup. This is one of the most famous characters in English comedy, in one of the best series. And okay, so I've got to play here. We've got to get off the light, and it says very weird things on the back. A Dobby Cup, peep show, great show that is. Got to watch it if you haven't seen it. So Eric does go queen here with the idea of having this bishop c4. So I get my king out of the way, and sensible move. His rook can now live. And if I go here, he's going to take that one. So do we take or do we not? I think we get rid of that one, because otherwise that pawn's a real nuisance. And we try and go bishop here, and we see if Eric, this is a solid central square, if Eric is going to sacrifice or not. No, he comes away. So I was about to go queen there, which is probably not the best move in this position. Fuck no. Now we could go bishop here. I'm very short time, so I'm just going to play this to see where he puts his queen. And now I'm going to go here. Just again, I'm not saying I'm necessarily playing for a draw, but I want to see where he puts his pieces. Now this is something, but I'm obviously going for the king side, so I'm not worried, I say, about his pieces going to this area of the board. Now, if he does take on a7, that's target. So now he's gone here, okie doke. So I think we have to keep this one on the board. And that opens up at least this idea. So he's got to keep active, which he does. Don't want to exchange queens. That would be really bad. So that's one option. Also try to get to the back rank, but he's just going to move his bishop, so I don't see how that helps me. Don't really see that move being... Okay, let's go here anyway. And now here, because... Does this do anything? I'm giving up all my queen side. The queen side not very relevant, I feel, but... Now here takes... Could I go in there? Oh no, I've just dropped my bishop. Fuck. Did I just do that? Oh man, why did I go there before? Because it drops the bishop. Jesus, that was bad. Okay. And yeah, I mean, I think I don't think I really had enough. But so what should I have done? What should I have done there earlier? I mean, this is more frustrating that I forgot what I'm supposed to be doing more than anything after rook d5. I have looked at this a couple of times. So bishop e6 is the way to play it. Okay, the reason I didn't play that because I lost the game to Shirov where I basically grabbed that rook and I got in trouble on the light squares. But bishop e6 is... And now if he takes here, you actually take the pawn. The computer says this is like equal, a little bit better for black. So it is bishop e6. So I was getting a little bit confused on my lines. And this is fine. Now was f4 still interesting? In actual fact, he has bishop a3 here, so it's not that good. But this position is enough compensation, and this is all normal. And now b6 was a safer move to play. I think b6 is better because I can put the bishop on c5, I've realised. And this also allows his pieces far too into my position. And I never quite get anything going on the king side. You know, I need to get the bishop over here, but it's just not happening. All right, one more game to go, thank God. And then we get this title Tuesday out of the way. Tough games on 5 points out of whatever I had. Tough title Tuesday. One to go. Let's make it a good one. Right, we're going to go e4, and this is the last game, isn't it? Unless I miss... Okay, so I'm going to play the open Sicilian. I've played this bishop e2 enough, and I'm not really getting great positions from it. Okay, so we're going to just go straight into an open Sicilian, and I'm going to pretend I know what I'm doing, and I don't. One of the things with e4, obviously I know some ideas. I've played enough chess to know every opening a little bit, but you know, some openings more than a little bit. And the Sicilian I do know reasonably well, but the theory is so intensive that I don't know it so well. And here we are in the Dragon, and an opening I play myself. So let's play the main line. So we go bishop e3, and we go for the f3 stuff, etc. The Yugoslav. And now I'm going to go bishop c4, which Bobby Fischer used to play to put sort of a stop to this. And he's gone here. So we will... What do we do now? Castles. And again, very heavily analysed line. Now, I used to play this line as black. But it is, I think, with correct play, quite a dubious line. But again, it's all about the memorization. So interesting. We're both attacking on both sides, and this is the move which Yeah, I want to keep the queens on, as it's the last game. Let's keep the queens on the board. Swapping queens probably gives me a bit of an advantage, but we keep the queens on for more fun. And just play for mate. So we go here and try to kill him on this square. Now is he oh god, is there a knight f3? There might be a knight f3 here. Knight f3 was very tempting. Knight takes, bishop takes there. Certainly something he could have really thought about. Now, I want to go this square, but always c3 is dropping. Now, again, knight f3. If I fall for the same thing again, this is how I'm playing today. I'm falling for the same thing multiple times. And this is a very common tactic I should not be falling for. Knight here takes, and everything is going to drop. So knight here, I have to move my queen. So that was slack of me to fall for it twice. And this is, he's also got ideas of bishop takes g4. Both of these tactics work. And this is very bad of me to fall straight into this after just mentioning it. We can still fight on. We can't let that one get in the game. And you can see just how dangerous the dragon is, even if theoretically this is not supposed to be a good line. As I know, because I've played it and lost horrible games. The dragon can be so much fun. Now he could think about this, takes here, but I don't see a follow-up. Putting the king on b2 is kind of asking for trouble, so he just comes back and has ideas of grabbing that one. So let's try here, and I don't really want to defend, but might be forced to play bishop d2 and put a defensive thing on at some point. Like rook c8. Okay, it's only a check, I say. So he's getting greedy. Grabs that one. There's nothing wrong with that. How do we play? Let's put it on some square. And with that as an option. And he's just keeping now his king side totally safe. And clearly great compensation. So can we come in and try something? Nope. What do we do here? What do we do? Be annoying to lose this last game, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm going to go here. I don't know if I want to take that or not, but give myself the option. And he's very solid now, so I can't see an obvious way to get through to his king. And I've also had problems all over the shop. This one. So queen, okay, I have to go here. I have to let him take this with tempo because I can't let the queen come in with check, I feel. I'm on the other side of the dragon today. And I've got to win this game to try to get over 50%. So after last week's strong performance, not the best. So let's fight now. Okay, he's got, how many pawns has he got? He's got 4 pawns for the exchange. But more importantly, he's closed down all the lines. Now, I put my bishop here to give ideas like this, but that does look quite risky. But okay, f7 is at least one of few targets I've got. So he's just going for the ending, and I can understand he does that, but it feels like surely he had better than that. Now takes, bishop takes, and there's a lot happening there. I don't know if I could justify doing that. Takes, bishop takes, takes, bishop takes. Can't see that, so I have to change. Let's try this one. The knight's defending the rook. We hit the knight, try to win the rook. So the problem with taking there, yeah, I take on f7, but so what? It doesn't do anything. So we've got to try and win more material. He's got 5 pawns now. Even if he loses his rook, he's probably got enough. Knight here. He here takes, knight c6. Looks like one good line for him. He's clearly doing very well. Okay, so he comes in to this square. Another very good move there. And now I'm in all sorts of trouble again because of this one. But we keep punting. and something along this line, and bishop f3 is probably enough.
Yeah, I think that, you know, from my perspective, that game where I you know, lost that ending against that strong player was the killer of this Title Tuesday for me. I kind of lost my edge a bit there. You know, you lose one painful game like that, and everything becomes too hard. So a bad Title Tuesday does happen. Cheers for watching. I'm going to go and cry, as I often do after these ones, and I wonder why the hell I'm doing it. One good game, but it all went wrong there. And well done to my opponent in the last game, who proved how to play the dragon. Cheers for now.